Hello everyone, I'm Kenshin. Welcome to Talking History. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you. Today's historical discussion is: did Coca-Cola once contain cocaine? Following the confirmation of Twitter's purchase by the world's richest man, Musk, he once again sparked controversy with his tweet expressing interest in acquiring the world's largest beverage company, Coca-Cola. On the 28th, he tweeted, "Next up, we're going to buy Coca-Cola and put cocaine back in it." Almost everyone has had Coca-Cola or one of its beverages, but few may know the history of Coca-Cola, especially its origins when it contained cocaine. Today, Kenshin will discuss the history of this globally recognized beverage brand. When you think of this brown beverage, the first thing that comes to mind is probably the sound of carbonation and its refreshing taste. But did you know, originally, it had nothing to do with beverages at all? Its invention was actually a coincidence, and its original purpose was medicinal. There are two main theories about the earliest origins of Coca-Cola, but I'll only discuss the most commonly known and the official version. It is said to have been invented by John Pemberton, a pharmacist in Atlanta, in 1886, but before that, he invented another beverage. In 1884, he first invented a drink called French wine coca, which contained cocaine and alcohol, meaning it wasn't intended for all ages. However, when it became popular, Atlanta locally enforced prohibition, causing the beverage to face the problem of being taken off the market. This forced Pemberton to develop a non-alcoholic version of French wine coca, which became Coca-Cola. Additionally, it's worth noting that Coca-Cola didn't remove cocaine from its formula until 1903. The name, Coca-Cola, comes from the original formula's two main ingredients: coca leaves, coca, with cocaine, and the cola nut, cola, with caffeine. On May 8, 1886, John Pemberton brought a new product to Jacob's Pharmacy for sale. Why? At that time, soda fountains in pharmacies were very popular in the United States, and people believed that carbonated water was beneficial to health. Pemberton claimed that his drink could cure many ailments, including morphine addiction, indigestion, nervous disorders, headaches, and impotence. So, the new beverage was marketed as a patent medicine and sold for 5 cents per glass. This soda water mixed with carbonated water and the new syrup created a delicious and refreshing drink. His partner and bookkeeper at the time, Frank M. Robinson, suggested the name Coca-Cola, writing down the now famous trademark. The first newspaper advertisement appeared on May 29 of the same year in the Atlanta Journal, inviting thirsty citizens to try the new popular soda. Soon, hand-painted signs with Coca-Cola began appearing on store awnings, accompanied by the word beverage, to inform consumers about the new drink. In the first year, an average of 9 glasses were sold per day, which wasn't bad at all. However, for the inventor Pemberton, even until his death from stomach cancer in 1888, he never realized the true potential of the beverage, even selling parts of the business to different partners. Eventually, he sold his remaining stake in Coca-Cola to Asa G. Candler, a businessman with excellent commercial acumen, who claimed full ownership of the Coca-Cola beverage on May 1, 1889, reportedly spending $2,300 and other exchange conditions to do so, and established the Coca-Cola Company the following year. The well-known trademark was registered with the U.S. Patent Office in 1893. However, few people know that in 1910, Candler destroyed the earliest records related to the Coca-Cola Company, reportedly occurring around the time of moving to new company offices. As for the transfer of company power, Pemberton's only son, John, became increasingly addicted to opium smoking after his father's death, to the point where he couldn't get out of bed, indicating the severity of his addiction. The second year after his father's death, he sold the Coca-Cola formula to one of his father's partners, Asa Candler, for $550. John died at the age of only 40 in 1894, still holding the opium smoking gun when he passed away. So, how did the iconic glass-curved bottle of Coca-Cola come about? On March 12, 1894, Coca-Cola was first bottled at Biedenhahn Candy Company in Vicksburg, Mississippi, but it looked very different from the iconic bottle design introduced in 1915 or later. A few years later, two entrepreneurs from Chattanooga, Tennessee, approached Candler with the idea and convinced him to bottle Coca-Cola. They signed a contract to take on the business for $1, but there were issues later on. Starting in 1899, Chattanooga became the location of the first Coca-Cola bottling company, and while Candler was very satisfied with the syrup sales business, he never made any money from bottling. In fact, this contract became a headache for the Coca-Cola company for decades to come. 15 years later, in 1919, the Candler family sold 90% of the Coca-Cola company's shares to an investment group for $25 million. As for Candler himself, he became the 41st mayor of Atlanta. In the city of Atlanta today, there is Candler Park, which was built on land he donated. Additionally, there are Candler buildings in Atlanta and New York, as well as universities and hospitals in Georgia that he donated to, although they are not named after him. The first outdoor wall advertisement promoting Coca-Cola was painted in Cartersville, Georgia, in 1894. Coca-Cola syrup was marketed as a non-prescription dietary supplement for treating stomach discomfort. By the time of its 50th anniversary, Coca-Cola was widely popular in the United States. In 1935, it was certified kosher by Atlanta Rabbi Tobias Geffen, thanks to Harold Hirsch's assistance, who was the first person outside the company to see the top-secret ingredient list after reviewing its kosher compliance. Speaking of the formula, Coca-Cola's recipe is considered one of the world's top secrets. Many researchers believe that Coca-Cola contains 58 flavoring ingredients, including coriander, vanilla, orange, and lemon oils, among others. However, even with these claims, many years of experimentation have failed to replicate the exact taste of the beverage. This is because no one knows the core ingredients of the Coca-Cola formula, which are referred to as 7X in the list provided by the headquarters to its production plants. What does 7X mean? Coca-Cola headquarters ships the prepared syrup, numbered, to factories around the world. Then, according to the corresponding proportions and production processes, it is mixed with water, sugar, syrup, and other ingredients, one of which is labeled 7X, indicating 7 materials. However, the identities of these 7 materials have never been explained to anyone. The true formula has been locked in a safe at the Georgia Trust Company since 1925. According to the company, the safe will only be opened as a last resort. However, opening the safe is not easy. Besides rigorous authentication, there are extremely strict security measures. Over the past 80 years, no one knows whether the safe has been opened, how many times it has been opened, or the details after opening it. To this day, Coca-Cola's formula remains one of the top commercial secrets globally. In 1903, as Coca-Cola changed its formula, it removed the cocaine component, leaving behind large amounts of sugar and caffeine. Seems healthier, right? In 2011, on the 125th anniversary of Coca-Cola's birth, the formula was moved to a dedicated room in the Coca-Cola Museum at Pemberton Plaza. However, security measures remain stringent, and visitors can only learn about Coca-Cola, including the story of its formula, through multimedia. Details such as the number of ingredients used, the proportions of various ingredients, and the production process are still shrouded in mystery. Someone once conducted a poll: what's the most popular word in the world? The first result was God, because it gives people faith. The second was she, as many people see women as the most beautiful scenery, and the third was Coca-Cola. Now, approximately 19,400 bottles of Coca-Cola are sold every second globally, which is astonishing. This also reflects how terrifying the profits of this company are. Not to mention that during the lockdown in Shanghai, it became residents' hard currency, more valuable than the renminbi. Finally, Kenshin wants to provide some analysis. Drinking Coca-Cola affects the body. Consider whether you want to continue consuming it. Within 10 minutes, 10 teaspoons of sugar, equivalent to 100% of the recommended daily intake, enter the body. This should cause nausea, but phosphoric acid blocks the feeling. At 20 minutes, blood sugar spikes like a rocket, and the body, in order to turn excess blood sugar into fat, pancreas rushes to produce insulin. By 40 minutes, caffeine is largely absorbed, pupils dilate, blood pressure rises, and the liver releases more sugar into the bloodstream. Adenosine receptors in the brain are blocked, preventing you from feeling fatigued. At 45 minutes, the body releases more dopamine, doubling the pleasure and increasing dependence on the drink, akin to heroin. At 60 minutes, due to the high dose of sugar and artificial sweeteners, calcium is rapidly excreted, along with the diuretic effect of caffeine, causing phosphoric acid in the small intestine to bind with calcium, magnesium, and zinc, accelerating metabolism. Calcium, magnesium, and zinc are lost from the bones, along with sodium, electrolytes, and water. Additionally, more nutrients and minerals in the water also flushed out.